Hey everybody, welcome to another episode. So I finally got around to doing it. Let's do the Christmas catalog, the J.C. Penney's Christmas catalog, 1984. I'd already done the Sears Christmas catalog, so go back and watch that video if you want to see that. You can kind of compare the difference between the two catalogs. We had both, and I believe we had the Montgomery Ward's catalog from '84 as well. My mom she loved her catalogs, so we had a bunch of catalogs around. I think my grandma had them too. I mean, everybody had these catalogs back then. I mean, they were as common as, I don't know, People Magazine or whatever, or Time, you know what I'm saying. They were just, there is the newspaper, everybody, that's how everybody bought their Christmas presents, and that's how everybody did their shopping, is they'd all go through the Christmas catalog. So, I found a site. I found this a while ago when I was looking. I can't find a downloadable PDF of it, and this site won't let you download the pages, so I couldn't construct it into a PDF. So we're gonna have to just go through their site. It's kind of an antiquated, tedious site, but they do have all the pages on here. And by the way, if you do go to their site, they have all of them. They have all the catalogs, every catalog, from like all the way back to the 50s. Up until I think they stopped making them. They got Penney's, Ward's, Sears. I think there's even I don't know if there was a Hudson's. I don't remember ever having a Hudson's catalog. Hudson's did have a toy department back in the 80s. That's where I got my Hoth Luke and my Darth Vader collecting case. But I don't remember I don't remember having a Christmas catalog per se. I know Hudson's had catalogs. I don't know if they had a Christmas catalog. I could be wrong about that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think we might have had a Hudson's catalog. Sorry. It's 40 years ago. I mean, I've got pretty good memory, but there are holes in it at times. So, without further ado, let's go through this. I'm not going to go through, because it's tedious, I'm not going to go through all 600 pages, but I've got the page. You'll see how the site works. Let's just see. Am I in a good spot here? Yeah, I guess so. So they've got it opens up in a separate window. You've got the main page here, which has all the thumbnails of all the pages, and and then when you click on a page, it goes here. But you can just hit next. So here's the cover, of course. I remember this cover quite a lot. I remember this cover because the magazines. It's like the Christmas catalog would sit. We had a like a magazine rack type of things, brass-looking magazine rack sitting next to the orange chair there at my mom's, and it was wedged in there with all her Better Homes and Gardens and all the other magazines and stuff that were in there. I think the phone book was wedged in there. Not the big thick statewide one, but like the county books, the smaller ones. I don't know if you remember those. I think they had yellow pages, yeah, but they weren't that thick. It was just like the immediate. It was just the county. The state one, or more region one. I don't think it was. Maybe it might have been state. It's the Michigan Bell phone books. I can't remember. There's another. I mean, that's not really much fun of a video going through the phone book. However, going through those yellow pages for me as a kid was a thing. I wish I could find some of those old ones. I have all the old listings for all the shops. The hobby shops, the toy stores, the comic book shops. Because I used to go through those yellow pages all the time looking for all the stores. That's another thing that nobody does anymore, is go through the yellow pages. But anyways, yeah, I remember this particular catalog. It had a lot of phone numbers and other things jotted down in the white spots. So somebody probably my mom, or maybe even me at some point, took my pen out and wrote down somebody's info. Because we didn't have an answer machine back then. You pick up the phone, huh? Oh, yeah, my mom's not here. Oh, I'll have her call you back. Oh yeah, give me a second. All right, give me the number, and I write down the number. I remember doing that a lot, and I remember her doing that a lot too. So I remember this catalog had writing all over it. So let's go through it. Like I said, it's I think it's going to be tedious going through it page by page like this, because I mean, obviously, in the beginning of the book, they always do like the, like the hot ticket items and stuff sometimes, or whatever they want to feature, like, whatever this flatware and set is here. So let's just go through and let's find. Does anybody really want to see all the women's clothes, or the men's clothes? Like I said, I mean, if you're into that, you're probably not at the right YouTube channel, because my stuff's focusing on all the good stuff, the toys, and the electronics and stuff like that. So let's go through and let's see here. So we've got kids' clothes, we've got the sports clothes. So here's the jerseys. Let's stop at that real quick. It's just going to keep opening up new pages, isn't it? Okay, so let's close that one. Is that Mean Joe Green? I don't know if that's Mean Joe. Is that Mean Joe Green? Oh, it's Harris. It's Harris. What was his name? Not Steve Harris. Bubba Harris? Was it Bubba Harris? I can't remember. What does it say? Anyways, Mean Joe Green played for the Steelers, didn't he? I can't remember. But anyway, I had a couple of these jerseys. They weren't like real football jerseys. They were like kind of almost like t-shirt / jerseys. There's Tony Dorsett. Look at the names too. You had Tony Dorsett, Joe Montana, Walter Payton, one of my favorite players of all time, Dan Marino, quarterback for the Dolphins at the time. That year. Payton. I'm surprised they don't have McMahon, but I guess they're only going to do one Chicago Bear. Do they have a New England here? Can't tell. That looks like Vikings. If they have New England, because New England went to the Super Bowl with Chicago Bears, the Bears, and I don't know what was right here. That's Montana. It's San Francisco 49ers. Okay, all right. So let's just go through these real quick, because I wonder if they're going to do the not just like the clothing, but those like football sets. I loved those football sets. I mean, for me, like I said, I like football because of my dad, and everybody kind of likes football, but for me, the really thing that got me into football is I love the helmets. The helmets are like my favorite thing of the football. I was obsessed. The little mini helmets you get out of the coin machines. I was obsessed with the helmets. And just the logos and like the colors and like all the the stuff like that. I like that part of it, which doesn't sound very manly, does it? But anyway, that was my favorite part of football, and the players too. I mean, I enjoyed watching a good game and seeing a good play. But I mean, my dad would be yelling at the screen, and I'd be there yelling at it with him, imitating him, because you got to be like your dad. Let's see, where do we go here? This gifty crap, which I didn't really care so much about. Some slippers, more clothes, dudes' clothes. It's funny. It's the fashions and stuff. Not that these fashions are that. I mean, dudes still wear. I don't wear sweaters. It's funny working from home and not seeing humans that much. I've got to say, my fashion sense, not that I ever had one, my fashion sense is non-existent anymore. And it's funny, when I do go out of the house, you look at my closet, I've got all black t-shirts or band t-shirts, and I've got all black like sweatpants, like athletic pants. I have one pair of jeans that I never wear. I have 2 pairs of Dockers that I probably can't fit into anymore. I may have a dress shirt. I do have my suit, but I know I can't fit into it. I've totally gotten too big for it. I do have a suit that I bought at Hudson's, then Marshall Fields, back in like 2002, 2003, and I don't fit into it anymore. I weighed like 160, 175 pounds then. I'm not going to be fitting into that suit anytime soon. Not at weighing, what I weigh now, 260. Basically 100 pounds heavier. I'm not going to fit into that suit. But I do have a suit, so I can't say that I don't have a suit. I just can't wear it. And I have no reason to wear it. But yeah, one of these days I gotta, I'm just gonna have to bite the. Not that I guess I don't have to. What does it really matter? But one of these days, I should go through and I should get a real wardrobe that wear around normal people. But I'm around normal people so seldomly. I mean, if you literally think about the last year, for 2023, how many times I went to a party? None. How many times I went to a funeral or a wedding or anything like that? None. How many times I went to anything formal? None. How many times I went to anything where I maybe should have dressed up? Christmas? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. We didn't even dress up for Christmas, so I don't dress up anymore. I said, 50 years old, I have no reason to dress up. I don't dress up. Oh, there we go. Now we're talking the 80s right here. There it is. This is another good, so this is a sweatshirt, which that's actually kind of cool. But some of the, is the Vince McMahon glasses. I had a pair of Oakley Vince, well, they're fake Oakleys. They weren't real Oakleys. I got them at Imperial Sports in Winchester Mall. They had all the sunglasses up front. They had the real Oakleys, the ones that Macho Man wore and Vince McMahon wears. But is it Vince McMahon? Jim McMahon. Vince McMahon's the guy from WWF. Because I'm thinking Macho Man Savage. No, what's his face? Not Ed McMahon. What's his name? Jim McMahon, the quarterback for the Bears at the time. He had the Oakleys on. They had imitation Oakleys. They had the white ones too. That's imitation white Oakleys back then. I got a picture somewhere in my pictures of me wearing it with a Seattle Seahawks jersey. Love the Seahawks. Love their uniforms. Don't really care for the team. Anyways, I had, but yeah, I had the Michael Jackson jacket though, and it's funny because this is like a sweatshirt. A lot of companies would have variations of the Michael Jackson Thriller jacket. I had the Beat It jacket as well. But let's see if anything on the next page. Yeah, look at these. Look at these 1984 shirts. I had a lot of these weird shirts too. My mom would buy them for me all the time. She'd always want me to wear something nice. Tim, you can't just wear rock band t-shirts all the time. You got to put on something nice. Great. Here I got you this very 80s sweatshirt, or very 80s shirt, which I didn't. It was the 80s. I didn't know any better back then. I thought some stuff was cool. I'm gonna end up opening up a gazillion of these ads. Let's see if I can find anything else that pops out at me here. So here we're getting into the sports. Oh, here is this them? Yeah, here we go. Okay, so I was kind of too old for these by this time, but back when I was like in elementary school, well, I guess I was in elementary school, still in 6th grade, but back when I was like in like 1st, 2nd grade, I would go out and play football with the neighbor kids, right? And we all started buying these. I didn't see the Michigan one. Wow. Maybe I did back then. Remember, my sister went to Michigan. These are all college teams here. Oh, wow. Really? Oh, yeah. I remember seeing the college team ones. They had football pants. They had all the different stuff for football. And you got like a set of, they're okay for an 8-year-old or 6-year-old, 7-year-old. You had a pair of shoulder pads, you get some pants, you get the helmet, and you get a jersey, and we'd just wear socks or whatever, and we'd put on just our tennis shoes. But we'd go in the backyard, we'd go out to a field, like me and like 4 or 5 other kids, and we'd just run at each other, just full tackle, full head-on football, because we're like, well, we can't get hurt. We've got all these pads on and helmets, and there were so many times two helmets clanged together. Surprised I didn't have a concussion at that age, but yeah, we clanged together quite a lot, and we just beat the shit out of this stuff. Just because we're like, hey, we're wearing pads, we can't get hurt. There's the NFL ones. Yeah, so the NFL ones, and the helmets were not great, and obviously, for an 8-year-old or a 7-year-old, it'll keep you from, a lot of times you throw the football and you couldn't catch very well because the football was so big unless you had the smaller size football. But the football hits you right square in the face. But that thing was enough to at least sort of deflect it from. I mean, it would rock your head back if you caught it pretty hard, but it would at least keep your face from getting a bloody lip from catching a football in the face. But and again, the helmet to helmets keep each other from butting heads. You know, even if it did give us concussions. But and the shoulder pads, same thing. We'd always go right into each other. So, you know, I like that part about it. I just, you know, as I got older, I got more into hockey. You know, as I got into older, I got into hockey. Still, contact hurt. You know, I'd say you get more fucked up in hockey if you're playing hockey maybe at the kid level and you're playing it without equipment, just sticking some skates, maybe some gloves if you're lucky. You can get messed up pretty good. I mean, I took a few pucks to the face, not very hard though, and I took a few more sticks to the face. People whapping sticks around, hitting you right in the eye and stuff. Because, you know, they want to get their stick out from under and they just go to skate and they'd flip the thing out. Here comes boom, just nail you right in the face. But yeah, playing hockey, you'd get killed if you played hockey without pads on, you know, on a rink at a higher speed. You gotta wear stuff. I'm just surprised I didn't get more fucked up than I did than as a kid. It's lucky, I guess. And I don't think anybody really that messed up. One kid lost his tooth, I remember. Yeah, there's the Garfield in full flavor. Oh, let's keep it on this for a little bit because I'll probably go through the sleeping bags. There's Max Steel's Robo-Force, some Blue Thunder. Look at that, some Blue Thunder and some Knight Rider. I got the whole tent set here, the camp set. You take it over and camp at your friend's house. Go camp in his basement. You'd have the tent, you got the sleeping bag, you got the duffel, you got the backpack. You got all the hookup right there. There's some Masters of the Universe, little Rainbow Bright for the ladies. The Snoops. There's the G.I. Joe tent. That was the cool one, was the G.I. Joe tent. I mean, you could barely, you know, at 10 or 11, 12, you could barely fit inside here with your sleeping bag. Your feet would be sticking out the other end, but it was kind of fun. I think I only had one or two tents, and they usually end up getting broke. By the time you got them, they're broke like within the next couple of months. I didn't have the sleeping bags, though. I had a G.I. Joe sleeping bag in 5th grade, I remember that. Had a Battlestar Galactica bag, I had a Star Wars sleeping bag. I think I had a Kiss sleeping bag at one point. So now we're getting into regular camping gear. Okay, let's close these down. Let's go back to where we were. So we got through the tents. I don't think anybody really cares to see chessboards. I know we had electronic. My sister wanted a computerized chessboard, which we ended up getting, and it was just weird. I could never get it to work right because I didn't understand how it worked. My sister would get mad because I'd mess it all up. She's like, you can't move the pieces and not program it in what you've moved. But I don't know how to program what in what I moved, because just if you push down on the piece, it would register where the piece is at, so the computer would know. Somehow I'd get it all bobbled up and it wouldn't work right. So yeah, here we got some plates, some stuff here, blah blah blah. They don't have them. They actually be older than that. We've got this dish set that we had back in the day at the house in like the late 70s, and it's funny because my ex-wife, her dad, at their house, they've got the same plate set. That must have been a big plate. It's like that ceramic ware plate with it's like kind of a grayish white with the blue flowers and the little stitching and stuff around it. That was like a big thing back then, apparently. Because I think we had some other friends and neighbors had the same sets too. Let's see, this is 1984. 1984 is when we got our first microwave, but I know we didn't get it through a catalog. I think my mom got it at Service Merchandise. No, not Service. That's a catalog. It's a catalog service. Well, they have a store, but my mom got it through. It must have been Highland Appliance or Ali Fredder. Highland's Midnight Madness Sale 2 days. Sorry, gotta be from Michigan to know what that means. From the Detroit area to know what that means. Okay, now we're getting into the toys. They might want to see the dolls. I'm not really big on the dolls. Um, unless they're Mego dolls or Kiss dolls. They're not dolls, Mom. They're action figures. And we'll stop at the plushies. Got some Care Bears, Kale Bears. We got there's Garfield. It's a Garfield Odie. What was Garfield's girlfriend's name? I can't remember. Garfield and Friends. Arlene. Arlene. There's Gizmo. Gremlins came out that year. I had a... Did I have a... I never had any Ewok plushies. I just thought, even though I was, 10 when Jedi came out, I was still like, eh. But I did have a Gremlin plushie, I believe. I know I had that Stripe. He's probably in here, that Stripe figurine doll, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. I guess we'll just do page by page now that we're into toys. Because people might want to see some of this stuff. Like, these are the Cabbage Patch, what, furry Cabbage Patch Kids? What? I don't remember even those being out. Alvin and the Chipmunks. I never had any. No, actually, no, I take it back. I did have Alvin and the Chipmunks. They were part of I think Burger Chef or Arby's or one of the fast food places had you get the Happy Meal, and they go every week. They had a different one. I know they did that with the Shirt Tails. I ended up having the Shirt Tails. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they did the Alvin and the Chipmunks. More Kale Bears. Kale Bear. Let's see here. Alright, some of this stuff. There's... Whoa, what's with these Cabbage Patch Kids? They look weird. Like almost more like action figure. I didn't realize Hello Kitty was a thing back in '84. I think Hello Kitty's from like the 70s, but I didn't learn what Hello Kitty was like till the 90s. I guess it was around, I just didn't know what it was. How the Fisher, I had that Fisher Price plane. I had that. I think everybody had the plane. Everybody had this. One thing and everybody had the farm. I had that. I guess I had all this stuff. Yeah, that was a lot of stuff my parents would get back in the 70s for Christmas and birthday presents. The Peg People. That was the thing I liked a lot. So still got some more stuff here. Let's see. Yeah, all the really little kids' toys. A gas pump. Oh, this is Fisher Price and Little Tykes, I believe. Lincoln Log set. Everybody had to have a Lincoln Log set. I used to call them Stinkin' Logs. Stinkin' Logs. That I remember having these. It seems like every preschool or every especially like every church preschool that would be at a church always had these cardboard brick boxes, to build stuff with. I don't think I had any of that stuff. I take it back. I did have the puzzle of the United States. I did have one of these. I think I had this one. And yes, I had that exact same one. Because I remember little drawings on it. The cat says meow. I had that chainsaw. Like a chainsaw, skin your ass raw. No, sorry, that little toy chainsaw. Never had a glowworm. Never had any of this stuff. No. I mean, some of this stuff is a lot of it's holdovers from, previous years. Some stuff just keeps coming back. I would have liked to have a He-Man Castle Grayskull toothbrush holder. That would have been cool. Electric toothbrush. Remember, '84, I'm in 6th grade, so yeah, I did have robotics. I had robotics. And I never had the Constructs. I gotta say, that was the one building set I never really had with any Constructs. I had the robotics, I had Capsella, I had, I forgot, there was one I found that I literally had in the late, 79, 80. It was in one of the older catalogs. I totally had forgotten about it. It's got little balls and the pieces that you could all put together. I remember I took it to the Snyder's pool, and the one right next to Madonna's house, and ended up losing some of the pieces in their pool. And then got in trouble because I said it was going to wreck the pump. I got in trouble a lot when I was a kid. I never had Duplos. I just went straight to Legos, like the regular, even before Space Legos. I never had the Duplos. There's Space Legos. I wanted this big mech thing. I never had it, but it came out after, because I got these more like in, remember I got the Tente set, and then the Tente set was not compatible with Lego, and then I had the Lego sets. I didn't have that ship. I had the base. I don't know, these might be all new ones. That base looks... I had a base, I had the one ship, and I had one of the smaller ships. I always wanted this mech thing. This looked very Battletech. I had like one Technic set. I had the Go-Kart set, which isn't this one. It was the yellow Go-Kart set, I think. It's the one you always saw in the back of the comic books. I had one set. And then I did have this, this specifically, this set here, but I didn't have it in 84. I think I got it in 85 for a Christmas present. Let's see. You know, it's funny, these are the Erector sets. Now, I always thought that this was Max Rebo from Max Steel, RoboForce. It wasn't. I used to always think it was, because it just looked like his head. I'm pretty darn sure I had 720. I had the big set. And again, I got this in, I got it for this Christmas. Yep, 84. Yep. 84, I got this set here, the 725 set. And again, these are holdovers, and I remember my dad finding it on clearance. So whatever it cost here, which is still pretty expensive, $65. I know my dad, I think we paid like $30 for it then. Got like half off-ish. Because it was on clearance at Toys R Us. Toys R Us had a lot of stuff on clearance in 84. Because we're going all the time looking for Transformers and not finding anything. And I couldn't leave without buying something. Don't you want Transformers? Why don't you hold on for Transformers, Tim? No, I want something. Well, you can't just get something. I want something. All right, going home with the Erector set. That's a Christmas present. I remember these Michael Jackson sets here. I never had him, but I remember him. I did want the headset, the G.I. Joe headset. That's the G.I. Joe headset. I never had that either. I never had anything like this. It would have been nice to have like a little typewriter. I didn't have any of that. No, I had a regular Sony Walkman. Oh, it was my sister. No, actually, no. This summer of '84 is when I got my own. It was for my birthday. I got my own Walkman. Thomas Walkman. I had Walkman. Crossbows and Catapults, right there. That was a great game. Had it then. Had it in '84. Got that for '84 Christmas. Crossbows and Catapults. I only had the Donkey Kong. I wanted the Pac-Man, but I only had Donkey Kong. My sister wanted Frogger. She never got Frogger. I always wanted an electric battleship set. Never got that. Never had a Simon. As big as they were, I never had one. We had the Merlin. I think that should be coming up. It was more my sister's. It was the Merlin. Board games, I had some, but for me, I liked board games, but I don't know. I didn't understand how they worked. They were too difficult for me. Mystery Mansion. I wanted them. I liked the idea of board games. I had Dark Tower, but yeah, I couldn't pay attention. I was too hyperactive, and it's like I gotta pay attention. I can't pay attention. I got toys to play with. What's on cable? MTV. So yeah, these sets and stuff. They have the Monster Maker in here. I had the Monster Maker. I always wanted one of these for some stupid reason, but I never got one when I was a little kid. Gotta have that Mr. T, Rocky 3, punch him out, bopping bag. Little Joe Eater set. This thing always creeped me out. I swear. I probably said this in the other, with the Sears catalog. This thing always creeped me out. I was like, what is it? Oh, it's a trampoline. It just looks weird. It just doesn't look right. I was kind of out of cars by '84. Although I did have Stompers. And no, actually I did. No, that was the military Stomper set. I did have the regular Stompers and the Water Demons. And actually, no, now that I think about it, I had the Dukes of Hazzard racetrack, and I had the USA 1 racetrack. Again, like I said, we couldn't get Transformers, so my dad had ended up, we found just a ton of stuff that I'd always seen, kind of wanted, but I didn't really want because I was too busy getting other things. And we couldn't find Transformers this Christmas, so, I mean, outside of the 2 that he bought. So I ended up, we found they clearanced a lot of this stuff out at Toys R Us. I remember the whole front of Toys R Us was just filled with clearance stuff, and it was all like stuff like the USA 1 set, you know, stuff like that, Erector set. And my dad's like, this stuff's real cheap. And I said, I just want it all. Never had that Starry or remote control. Never had this He-Man remote control thing. No. So that's Max Rebo. So see what I mean? Max Rebo, not Max Rebo, Max Steel's RoboForce. The thing looks just like that other thing from the Erector set. But I never had this set, or this car thing. I had him, but not the set. I kind of went over that in my toy video. I had the King Kong. I used to tell, my mom was dating a lot of men at the time. And I used to say, I told the neighbors once, because I had this, I went to, my mom took me to the Silver Dome. My mom never does this stuff, but up in the blue, just out of no reason, on like a really bad, stormy, snowy night, where she hated driving. She hated driving with no snow, let alone driving in snow. That old 1979 Sunbird she had. Just for some reason, she's like, oh, hey, you want to go to the monster trucks tonight? I'm like, yeah. It's kind of weird my mom saying that. She up and took me, and we went to see monster trucks. And it was so freaking loud inside the Silver Dome. But the King Kong was there. And the Michigan Ice Monster, if you remember that one. But anyways, the King Kong was there, and they had these pictures that they were giving out, signing or whatever. And so I got one of the pictures, and I remember telling all the neighbors that my mom has got a new boyfriend, and he drives a monster truck at the monster show, and he drives the King Kong truck. And the neighbor's like, really? That's interesting. Wow, sounds fun. I said, yeah, that's how we got. I totally made up this huge lie. This compulsively made up this huge lie for no apparent reason, just because I wanted it. I had this like idea in my head that was what really happened, even though I knew I was lying, but I guess I wanted that to happen, but it didn't happen. I had the Mr. T doll. I believe I got him in '83 though, so he was a holdover. I always wanted the Michael Knight Rider set, never had it. I did have the Stomper version of Knight Rider, but I never had the set. I had the Dukes of Hazzard one, which wasn't as nice as that one. Just checking the time. Okay. Yeah, there's the Stomper set. So you had that Water Demon specifically. You had the Water Demons. I didn't have that. Sorry. Worked all morning, so now I'm tired in the afternoon. For some reason, rechargeable batteries seem like a rich kid thing. It's like, oh, you got rechargeable batteries? You must be a rich kid. I want rechargeable batteries. Because they're really expensive. They're like $35 for like a set. And you're like, well, Jesus, that's like more money than a play set. I never really had much of the, outside of the Don Post or whatever they call them, costumes, I never really had much of the role play stuff. I had like the sets where you get like the gun and the holster and stuff, and I just wear it with whatever clothes I had on, but I never had like the whole costumes. That seems like something rich kids would do too. Here we go. Now we're talking. Now we're talking the good stuff. So, this is '84, so I was kind of getting out of Star Wars at the time. I already had gotten the Ewok Village for Christmas of '83, and I had already gotten this, I told you the fiasco with this thing in '83. I did get Wicket, and I believe I did have the other Ewok. That was two figures I did have from '84, from the second wave of Jedi figures. I never had this. I wanted the Biker Scout gun. I had the Han Solo gun. I really wanted the Stormtrooper blaster. My friend had it. I had the Darth Vader collecting case. I always wanted the set. this came out in '84. My friend who also had the Jedi or the regular Stormtrooper blaster, he had this. I never had the Rancor. I never really wanted it, to tell you the truth. I had Biker Scout. I didn't have... I had some of these. I had the orange one thing of this, like weird, whatever these were. I never had the Ewok, like, set pieces. I always wanted those too, never got them. I did have this. I got this in '83, though, and there's this... I dropped it right out of the bag, right there by the school, running across Woodward. All those pieces went flying. I did have an Interceptor. I did have the B-Wing. B-Wing, I love the B-Wing. It's one of my favorite toys. I wanted this. I never saw it. I might have I seen it. I might have seen it by '84 Christmas. I wanted it, but never got it. How much of that? Yeah, it was $40. It wasn't super expensive. I mean, $40 is expensive back then, but it wasn't like Millennium Falcon expensive. As far as the Jedi figures second wave, again, I had, I think it's Tebow and Wicket, and I think this is Paploo. I didn't have Paploo. I had a Peach Face for some reason. I wanted him. I don't know why. I didn't even know he was in the movie. Supposedly he was the gunner when Nine Numb and Lando were piloting the thing. I guess they had some scenes with him in it. He does show. He's standing in the Rebel... when they have the meeting there, he's standing there but you can barely see him. I never had the Hoth, or the Endor Leia. I never had the Endor Han. I've got them now. And I never had, wait, was that the B-Wing pilot? Wait, I did have the B-Wing pilot. I don't think that's the B-Wing pilot, though. It's the second set. Who's in the second set? No, it is the B-Wing. Okay, I guess I did have him. I always thought I had the red one. I don't... Yeah, the A-Wing pilot was green. I didn't have the... I think I did have the... I guess I had him. I didn't know he was red, though. Okay. Whatever. I did have this guy and I had these three figures because they came in the previous set, which I thought they had this picture of this in there with the... Maybe it's on the next page. But they had the sets. It was like the old Jawa droid factory thing from the original Star Wars line. I mean, from Star Wars line. Actually, from the '79 line. And then they just they took the piece and they just recast it in another color. And then gave you three guys, and they called it like the droid factory for Jabba's playhouse. I never had the Rancor Keeper. Never had the Rancor. I did have Palpatine. I got him mail away. And I did have the ATST, but never had the ATST driver. Let's see. Okay, now we're on to G.I. Joe. Always wanted the whale, or the blubbercraft, as I call it. Never got the blubbercraft. There's the base, and the water moccasin. I remember getting that. I remember getting that Toys R Us in the summer, not for my birthday. I never had Mutt. I never had Spirit. I had Airborne. I had Recondo. I had Ripcord. I never had a Roadblock. I had all of these. Actually, no, I never had Scrap Iron, but I had everybody else. Had a Stinger. I had this. This might have been this year. I remember going down to the duck pond down in Rochester Park, and if you pumped it, it would. If you pumped him, he would blow bubbles. So the water was like this deep at the edge. I sat him in the water, and he's down there, and I was like pumping. I was like, "Oh, look, he's got bubbles." It really wasn't that great of a thing, but it was a cool toy though. That's the what the hell is that thing called? Not the Mobat. What the heck was it called? Not the Stinger. The self-propelled cannon. Yeah, but it didn't have a Slugger. Yeah, the Slugger. I never had the Slugger. Let's see what else we got here. We've got had the Rattler. Like I said, Dad needed new tires, or not tires. He had a ball joint on the AMC Eagle fixed because the ball joint went bad. I remember the guy said he's surprised we even made it to Sears. He says, "Man, that ball joint was like ready to pop." And while we're getting the ball joint fixed, I got the Rattler, and the thing was, this was right around Christmas time of '84, and not Christmas time, Halloween time, and I think I told this story before, and I wanted the Halloween costumes. They had this big display. My dad's like, I just bought you the, and that was $20 for that. What was that? $21.99. That's Sky Striker was $29.99. The Rattler was a little bit cheaper. Where is it? The Rattler. Where's the Rattler? Why am I blind? Oh, number one. $15.99. Tank Smasher. I used to always call it the tank. I didn't know what an A10 Warthog was yet, and I used to always just call it as Tank Smasher. And that's the reason I really love the A10 Warthogs. Every time when I first saw that plane for real, I was like, "Oh, it's the Rattler. It's the Tank Smasher." But yeah. So, anyways, he just bought me that, and he's like, "I'm not." And then I ended up getting the costume anyway. And then he must have spent a lot of money. Plus, he had to get the ball joint fixed on the Eagle. Had all three of these guys. Had Zartan. I got Zartan I think I got him in the fall as well. School. I was already in 6th grade. I had the. Actually, no, I did have the Fang too. I finally ended up getting this. I had this. I ended up blowing this up with firecrackers and Roman candles. Woo! That went up like you wouldn't believe. I went through a phase where I was lighting everything on fire, and that was one of the things that went up in the my big pyres of doom. Last year I collected He-Man. I know I say this at every time, but I talk about He-Man. But last year I collected it with 1984. There they are, right there. I've got every single one of these guys right there. You can't see it, but okay, so I can turn the camera a little bit. They're in this case here. Yeah, I've got them all right there. I never had this case. It's kind of pointless to have it now, but I've seen this case for sale, like the vintage one, for like $20 a few times. Sometimes they had cobwebs in them, sometimes they didn't. I was gonna get it, but I decided not to. I was just hoping that they'd come out with cases for the Origins, but they never have. Should be vehicles and playsets next. Yep. All right, so this is everything. They got everything on there. So I had everything here, you see, except the Dragon Walker. Again, as I mentioned it, even as a kid, I thought, that is really stupid. Like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So I didn't want it. But it was the only thing I didn't get. I wanted the attack track, loved the attack track. You know, I'm waiting. Okay, so these are the things that they haven't produced yet for Motu Origins. Otherwise, I've got everything here, right here. In there, because there's Snake Mountains right next to the camera. Is they have not made an attack track yet, which I'm hoping they still do. They've not made the back of the battle ram, which again, I hope they still do. Because I don't want just the Sky Sled. I want the full battle ram. And they haven't made this. Now, as stupid as it is, and I did not have it, if they make it for Origins, I will buy it. Just because I want to be a completist and have everything from 82 to 84. So I will buy it, no matter how stupid it is. But yeah, I need this. I need the back of this, which it'll probably just come with the whole thing. And I need that if it ever comes out. Otherwise, I've got all of this. All of it. I mean, all the other stuff. Yep. And again, 85, I was out. This wasn't in Sears catalog. Mantech. Mantech. Again, I had this guy right here, and I believe I had the blue guy. I didn't have this crazy looking base thing. I kind of got on board with this. This is one of those toys, like I said, I would go to Kmart with my dad, or wherever, the mall, and I would see a new figure line like this, and I would buy a figure, and then I got to show it off, got to flex to all my friends. So I'd get home, and I go to the neighbor kid, and I go, look at this, and he'd just get pissed. He's like, would you quit it? He's like, I cannot keep up with you. My parents won't buy me. His parents had more money than my parents. He's like, my parents will not buy me all those toys, and you keep coming up with a new toy line to play with. It's like, you know, because they kept getting mad that I kept showing up with some new toy. He's like, would you quit buying new toy lines? I said, I want them all. And I did the same thing with Black Star. I got the main guy, the main bad guy, and then went over to, I don't think I went over to his house. I went to somebody else's house. But with Black Star, I had Black Star. I had this bad guy here. I had the main, whatever his name was, the Overlord, I think his name was. I think I had this guy here. These guys came with these. I don't think I had the bug guy. I didn't have this guy. I wanted this, but I just never ended up getting it. It's not that I kept thinking I didn't find it, but I remember seeing it at Kittyland. Wanted it, but never got it. And then I was going to get this, but I got burnt on the Crystar Castle. Because the Crystar Castle was literally just made out of, like, Tupperware. Not even Tupperware, like not even Rubbermaid. You know, like the Ziploc? You get them, those plastic. They're basically like the Rubbermaids, but they're made by Ziploc, and they're thin and they're disposable. That, like, clear plastic, real thin, chintzy stuff. The entire Crystar Castle for Crystar was made out of that. And as soon as I got him, like, and it was just that in cardboard, I'm like, this is really stupid. This is really cheap. I don't like this. And then when I saw this, you couldn't see it because it had a picture of it on the cover, and then the back of the box had like a drawing of it. So I was like, I think I'm done buying all these extra castles because it's just going to be chintzy and crappy. It wasn't, though. Actually, they said it was real brittle plastic. It would break really easy, but it was a solid piece of plastic. So kind of regret. Wish I could have got that. Let's see, A-Team guys. I did have BA, I had Murdoch. I don't think I ever got Face. I didn't want Hannibal for some reason. I don't want the old white-haired guy, even though he's one of the A-Team. I think I just had BA and Hannibal. Or I had BA and Murdoch, Howling Mad Murdoch. So those are my favorite. I wanted Face, and I wanted Face's Corvette, the white Corvette, but never got that. I did, yes, okay, so I did have I had all of them because they came in a set. I had all of the main A-Team guys in the set of the 3 3/4 inch, were like G.I. Joe O-ring figures, because they came in a set, and then I ended up getting the van, BA's van. I don't think they made a BA for this. I think they just had the face car for this size. And then Murdoch had a plane for that. I never got the plane, wanted the plane, never got it. Never got the gyrocopter either. I used to tell people, I was like, hey, the guy who plays Murdoch, he also plays the gyro guy in Road Warrior. He doesn't. It's a totally different actor. But I swear it was him, right? Just because he had a gyrocopter, and so did the guy in Mad Max. And they're both kind of weird. Ergo, obviously, Murdoch showed up in Star Trek Next Generation as what was his name? Commander, or Lieutenant, not Wesley, well, if you remember it, write it in the comments, because I can't remember. What was the name of Howlin' Mad Murdoch's character on Star Trek Next Generation? It's on the tip of my tongue. I swear, I just think of Picard yelling at him. It's like, it's what's his face again? He would always put all the characters in like his own holodeck fantasies. What was his name? Tell me before I lose my mind. But yeah, so not the same guy as the other show. That might be it. Oh, Transformers. Okay, so this is the year. I kind of went over this with the Sears, and I went over this with Transformers. I don't have my time. I keep saying the same thing. But anyways, this was the big Transformers, 1984, and you couldn't get them to save your life for Christmas. And the only one I got for Christmas was I got Soundwave because my dad bought them early. I had the tapes, and I believe I had Sideswipe. That was it. I ended up getting, I never got Jazz. I wanted Trailblazer, never got him. I had Prowl. I really liked Prowl. He was one of my favorites. I got him later. And then I got him like right around the time I got the Dinobots. Same with the Insecticons too. I got a Megatron, but I got him way down the line. Like I meant to, like when the movie was out, like in '86. I finally got a Megatron. I didn't buy him new. I had to trade somebody some stuff to get a Megatron. I did have an Optimus Prime. I didn't get him right away too. I got him in '85, but that was because I couldn't find him. Like I said, I had Thundercracker and I had Skywarp, which is not here's Thundercracker, but I never had Starscream. For some reason, I wanted the set, but at the same time, he just made me mad in the cartoon. So he was such a jerk that I hated Starscream that I didn't want the toy. It's weird. So I thought when I was 12 years old. GoBot stuff. Like I said, I had Leader 1 and I had Psykill. And I think I had Not the cop. No, yeah, I think I had the copter. I had the girl, the female chick to the black car too. Wow, this catalog's got so much more than the Sears catalog. So anyways, I had a few of those. I never had the bass or the Cobra thing. I wanted it, but the Starry Wasters, I love this. Actually, the Starry Wasters are the bad guys. The Starry Defenders are the good guys. Or it's called Starry Warriors, I can't remember. But I used to call them all Starry Wasters. They're all Starry Wasters. Wasters are the bad guys. I think I had the blue guy. I got the blue guy first. Yeah, so I had a bunch of those. I had him way later, like in the late 80s. Somebody traded me, or I got him off somebody. And then I was like, oh, I want to go back and find them. And you could kind of sort of still find them at Toys R Us in the late 80s. Not all of them, but I never ended up getting any more of them. I just wanted them because they were the same. These ones are on the same scale as Transformers. I just consider them extra Transformers. But yeah. And then there's the Converters. I don't remember those. That's got to be the end of the... No, sorry. It never ends. It's 1984. Everything's out. Yeah. I had everything you see right here. Oh, except for Penguin. Never had the Penguin. The only figure of that line I never got was the Penguin. I wanted him, but then I didn't want him, but then I didn't see him anywhere. But I had the... Go back and listen to my story either in the Sears catalog or my story about superpowers. But I had the Batmobile. Got this for Christmas of '84 from my mom. I can't remember. I think I got this not for a Christmas present. I just got this. And then I got like him. I had to get after in '85 because we're still going back to Sears. So I got him from Sears. I think I got Superman after '85. The only ones I got prior to Christmas, because some of the ones I got for Christmas, like Green Lantern and Joker, were the first two figures I got from my mom, but she let me open them up early. So I had the Flash, I had Batman, and I had one other one. Lex Luthor. Go back. I'll tell you. Go back to the other video. It'll tell you my story when I was at Kmart when we found these. And my mom I got in trouble again. Always getting in trouble. Now Secret Wars. I never had the Fortress of Doom or whatever it's called, the Doom Hideout or whatever. But I had most of the figures, if not all of them. I don't know why they put superpowers. Like they put superpowers in this picture, and then they put Secret Wars up here. Somebody who was doing the photography that day didn't understand the toy line, obviously. But I had a lot of those. Again, I've covered a lot of these guys in other videos, so go back to the other videos and listen to my stories about them. But let's just say I had the majority of everything on this page. Some of it purchased there that Christmas too. All right, now we're getting into the weird stuff. So let's just skip through it real quick instead of opening up another window. I'm just curious. I paid attention to the music stuff. Again, that's Fraggle Rock. I wanted, when I was a kid, even though I loved Kiss, and I was really into Kiss, and I don't think they ever had a Kiss toy drum set. I wanted the Animal toy drum set from Muppet Show, and they used to have one. That's the Fraggle Rock one there. But they had one, and I wanted one so bad. I was like, oh, I want a toy drum set. Because I had a friend who had a toy drum set. I was in his basement playing them. I think I ended up, because I had just a paper head, and I ended up thinking I broke one of the paper heads. And then I got in trouble again. But yeah, I wanted one of these toy drum sets. I didn't even, like I said, back when I was a kid, I didn't know what a snare drum was or a tom. I just figured they're just drums. They're all just drums. Let's see what else we got here. I had an air hockey set later. We had a regular pool table. That Uzi. Oh, that's a water gun. I was thinking, I don't think the Entertech stuff is in here, is it? Maybe it is. Entertech. Those are very, very realistic guns, squirt guns, that if you did play with those nowadays, you'd probably get shot by the cops because they didn't have the orange cone on them, and they looked real. I run around all the time with those big guns shooting each other, and cops never shot us. This guy right here. Oh man, I wanted this guy. Guardian 3-in-1 robot. I think he was part of the Diaclone line. I so wanted this set, but it's $35 for this back then. But I wanted this so much. I also wanted. I never got one. I always wanted a Inspector Gadget, the Inspector Gadget doll. They didn't make a Penny or a Brain or Dr. Claw. They just made an Inspector Gadget. He was about that tall. He had a real cloth cape or coat, his trench coat. He had all the gadgets and stuff that would come on him. He's so cool. I always wanted him, never got him. I did have a Transformer watch, not a gold one. I think I had a red one. Wanted Tiamat, never got Tiamat. So that means... I guess by 84, I guess, yeah, they don't have the Dungeons & Dragons figures in there anymore. Like I said, it's weird how they would have these Tamiya kits in here. I didn't know were Tamiya kits at the time. Well, actually, I wouldn't have known because I didn't know what a Tamiya kit was. I did have this, but I had the gray version of this. Actually, it wasn't. It was a programmable version of it. It's called the Smart Buggy. But anyways, the summer of '84, just after this Christmas, that's when Joe's Hobby Shop opened up in Rochester across from the high school, and that's when I discovered Tamiya radio control kits. Go watch my video on Tamiya radio control kits to know that story. But yeah, so some of this stuff was like they had the Brat in one of them, and they had like the Super Champ, but I didn't know what they were at the time. I just thought they were just radio controlled cars. I always liked like the planes. I'd see the planes like, oh, I'd love to have a radio control airplane, but it's just like, not for $300. You're not getting a radio. $300 back then. I mean, they're expensive now. I always thought this motorized fan car was pretty cool too. And of course, I had just 85 Christmas of '85. I got a real nice train set, and I got all the grass, and I had the mountain, and I had all the track and the lights and the buildings and stuff. And I built it. It was in the corner there when my dad moved into my his grandma's, when she died. He moved into her house briefly there on Rochester Road, and we had Christmas there for '85. And in the corner, I remember putting this train together while I'm watching Misfits of Science on the TV, and then seeing the ads for WrestleMania 1. But yeah, that was all going on. But yeah, I had a real nice train set. I didn't have the Santa Fe. I had like one of the. Actually, it might be this one. It is this one. Yep, the John Bull Classic. This is the set I had right here. HOC. Yep, that's the exact set. I didn't get it through catalog though. My dad got it at KB Toy Store. But yeah, this one right here, the John Bull Classic. Yep, because the thing is the engine of it is in this little like car, and then what looks like the engine was just static. It was just a model that would push it, right? The engine wasn't actually in this. And it had all the cars and stuff. I love that train set. I love that train. I have a Polaroid somewhere of me holding it up. But yeah, that was the train set that I got at Christmas. Yeah, there was a book I got at Joe's Hobby Shop, and I was like, I went to Joe's and I wanted to buy something, and it was like $6 or whatever, and it was like thick. It was like this thick. It was this giant, just catalog, HO scale catalog of all the stuff, and they had so many pictures of people who had built diagrams of like side of a cliff, bridges, water, everything. And I would just go through this. I would just sit there on that green couch and just flip through that book, just dreaming. It's like, and it was like I was like in my going to the train world was like your own little like slice of heaven. You could go there. But yeah, I remember doing that a lot. More so '85. Yeah, there's the G.I. Joe. I never had the G.I. Joe train set. But the Santa Fe was like the one to get, and I think they still have some version of it today. I didn't have that one. That one was cool because it came with Trans Ams. I used to take a pen when I was a kid with these catalogs. Like I said, we used to write all over these catalogs. I'd take a pen because in '84, I don't think highlighters were a thing yet. Highlighters didn't come out until like '85, '86. So before it was just underlining and circling stuff in pen. But I would take the pen and I would go like this. I'd run the pen down. I'd draw a line. Go, woo! Where do we go? Where do we go? Oh, it goes there. It was like a maze. It was just, and it was like, I'd just be tickled pink when I could figure it out. Like, oh, look at that. To go around there. You go around there. Where does it go? Oh, it goes underneath. Oh, and it zigzags. It comes around here. It goes up there. And it's like, where does it go now? Oh, it goes up there and it comes right back to where it was. And that was just, I didn't need a racetrack. I just needed a pen and a Christmas catalog. I could just trace the track. That kept me. And then I was like, oh, look at all the different designs. That kept me occupied as a kid. Let's see if they have. There's the A-Team set. They had the cliffhanger set. Did they have? Because I think the sets that I had were from the previous year. Remember, they were on clearance. There's the Knight Rider set. That would have been a cool set to have. I'm assuming Knight Rider start. I got to do a TV show of '84 too. There's the USA 1. I did have the USA 1. Although my USA 1, I'm noticing that the dump truck, mine was like a lime green. Because again, this might be like a second printing of it. But I had the USA 1 set. I used to take up the in '84. I remember I used to take up the my sister, because she went to college, she went to U of M, right? And we took the beds and stuff out. But the entire floor, and we pulled up with a carpet because she wanted hardwood floors and a rug. She didn't want to have wall-to-wall carpet. She's still like that today. Anyways, we took everything up, so it was this hardwood floor, and I remember setting up that and the crisscross crash set. Set a bunch of the tracks up in that room. The only problem is, then our dog Sunshine, she would go in there and poop. My dad would just throw a fit, and I'd go into play, and go to sit down, and there's a big pile of shit like right next to the track. And Dad, he'd start screaming. The dog knew it did something, or she did something wrong, and she would like hide behind his chair. My dad come chasing after the dog. A lot of the stuff that you're not supposed to do with my pets, my dad did. Don't follow me. My dad's not here anymore. But anyways, my dad's pet skills were textbook the wrong thing to do. I would say parenting skills too. But anyways, always wanted a telescope then. I wanted a cool telescope. This is what I called the Smart Kid toys. I kind of went over this when I talked about Sears, but I don't think they had as many in Sears. But I wanted the Smart Kid stuff. It's like, I figured if I got a chemistry set and I bought like a circuit board and like a telescope, that somehow would just make me smart, because I wasn't smart. And I wanted to be smart. But instead, my eyes would just drift down to, okay, I'll Smart Kid, what's this pit stop thing? Oh, I want to build this drag racer. But the drag racer on the box looks nothing like the toy or the model that you build. So it's like, but then it's like, oh, but look at this plane, and then you got to put monocoat on it, and you can do all this stuff, and you can build rockets. So this stuff got me excited. The stuff that I thought would make me smart, I was just like, no, I don't want to build cool shit. Never had a rock tumbler. My son had a rock tumbler. I think he still has it somewhere. I got one of the. I didn't have the V8. I had the Wanko engine, the rotary engine from the Mazda. I had that set. Never had an ant farm. Never had these crazy looking things that would give me nightmares sitting next to my bed. We're almost done here. What we at? Oh, we're hitting an hour. Yeah, let's wrap this up. We haven't even got to the electronics yet. Oh, there's the Stripe. Okay, I had the Stripe, and I guess I had the big Gizmo. I guess I didn't have a plushie. I think I had both of those. I also want to see, I know they have the sports card stuff, but I wanted to see if they had the comic book set. The collecting comic book set. Remember the one I was talking about? That's kind of what my Secret Wars box is, kind of my collecting. Oh, yeah, 84. Oh, God. Wanted one of these. Didn't end up getting that set until 85. And then when I got the set in 85, I wanted the Bears and the... First I wanted the Bears and the Patriots so I could recreate the Super Bowl. But then my friend was like, he loved the Miami Dolphins, loved Dan Marino, and he ended up getting the set for... Because you have to order 2 sets when you buy a set. So when he bought a set, he got the Dolphins and I think the Patriots. You know, I wanted the Patriots to recreate the thing, but it's like I don't really want the Patriots because they didn't have cool-looking helmets. So I ended up getting the Bears and I think the Los Angeles Rams. Or maybe I got the Seahawks. No, I don't think I got the Bears. I think I got the Seahawks and the Rams. just because I like their uniform. No, San Diego Chargers. That's what it was, San Diego Chargers. It looked like the Rams. Chargers and the Seahawks. Those are the two teams I got. And then it was really lame, but it was cool. It was cool, but lame at the same time. I'd always wanted one, and then I finally ended up getting one the following year. I just see them in the catalogs all the time. Let's see here. Finish up. Oh, there it is, right here. Okay, so this is what it is. You get it had like a printed box with all like a short box, and then they give you a guide on collecting comics. I think they give you a guide on how to collect comics. I think they give you a price guide, and they gave you a bunch of like second printings of some current issues. I thought they gave you like a full box that they don't. They give you like 20 comics, I think. Let's see what it says. Superheroes comic book set, $9.99 too, pretty cheap. Includes 3 books about Marvel superheroes, how Marvel superheroes began. Each book includes text full-color comics of the original #1 comic of each character. I vaguely remember that. It said also 7 sought-after. I was only at 7 sought-after superhero comics. Each one guaranteed to be between 7 to 10 years old. Oh, so they gave you old. They gave you basically just crap from the 70s. Stuff that probably nobody wants. Although I can't even see what they got. I think there's a Doc Savage there. But anyways, I ended up getting this. I think there's yeah, they give you the Thing. They'll probably give you the Thing, Dazzler, Kazar, Werewolf by Night, Man-Thing. That's probably what they'll give you. Oh, by the way, I think I'm not going to go back to it, but they have cuckoo clocks. We had a cuckoo clock. I just love saying cuckoo clock. We had a cuckoo clock back then at the family house, and I've been eyeballing a cuckoo clock for my wall up there. I kind of want a cuckoo clock, only for pure nostalgic sake. I mean, who has cuckoo clocks today? But I want a cuckoo clock. I just like saying cuckoo clock. Never had the high rider, as they call it. It was Bigfoot. I was too old for this stuff. I was on the BMX by this time. There's Green Machine. I had a Green Machine, and I had the Bat Machine, but that was old. Again, I was too old for that now. I just want to see. I think they had... Okay, so this bike right here, you can't really see it that well. But this bike right here, I swear that I had this bike. So my dad ended up... Because I had this... I remember the red anodized rims, red pedals, the red pads, and it was a chrome bike. My dad ended up buying me this bike, and it got stolen like right off the bat. And then I ended up getting a nicer bike after that. But I remember I got this bike and it got stolen, and I loved that bike. It was such a cool bike. It had free. The first bike I had freewheel and had handbrakes, and had, like I said, these cool anodized red rims and anodized red pedals and cranks. I think, yeah, that's the same bike, but it just says Boys BMX bike. I swear it had a name or like a brand. It wasn't Huffy and it wasn't Murray. It was like its own I want to say Pro-Am, but I think that's an actual... I want to say Pro-Am was the name of it. It wasn't... Oh wait, no, there's a Pro-Am right there. Yeah, I think it was Pro-Am. There's a Pro-Am set. And it just says Boys... Well, it says Boys Pro-Am. This one just says Boys 20-inch BMX. I think it was a Pro-Am. I can't remember. But I liked it. I loved that bike. Got stolen, though. Got stolen out in front of my friend's house, my Return of the Jedi friend. Some more bikes and stuff here. But yeah, BMX... Oh, man. 83, 84 BMX Insanity. I liked ice skate, but roller skates I could never really get the hang of. This is before rollerblades were out. Alright, real quick, because we're running out of time, let me see, did I pass the... I at least want to hit the video game section. We won't go through all the electronics. Oh, although I want to see the guitars. Oh, look at that, a Flying V. And these are all knockoffs. There we go. Okay, so look at this. This is a Les Paul knockoff, right? I don't know who the company is. Probably some no-name company. But it's a, yeah, double pickup guitar. They should have called it a single cut, because it's a single cut. But it's $99, right? This is 1984. This guitar right here Cost $179. I paid $120 for it. Yeah, $120 for it because I had a coupon on what do you call it? I paid a few dollars more than this guitar in 2040 years later, right? Guitars really haven't come, I mean, for a knockoff Les Paul, guitars really haven't come up that much in a long, since then. Look at these, $129 for this amplifier. It's some no-name amplifier, but you can get like an Orange, or Marshall's a little pricier, but you get a Fender amplifier, same wattage, same size for about the same price. Yeah, acoustic guitar. I paid $150 for the classical over there. That acoustic guitar is not a classical, but it's $100. So that stuff was pricey back then. I'm just curious because there's two things I'm looking for that may be in this catalog. I think they were in the Sears. I don't think they were in the Sears now that I think about it. Let me skip ahead here. We're looking for the video game section. Specifically, we're looking for the Atom. Oh, no. No video games in the Sears, in the JCPenney's catalog? Did I totally miss it? I'm just going to go back up to the front. Sometimes they put the stuff in the... No, I guess not. Wow, that's surprising. They didn't put console game Ataris or ColecoVisions in the JCPenney's Christmas catalog. That was in the Sears, because we already went over that when we went through the Sears catalog. Huh. Interesting. Alright. Well, anyways, that is the 1984 JCPenney's Christmas catalog. So, if I find the awards one's on there, this is a tedious site to go through. I'd like to find a better version of this, but if you like these, because it seems like people like the Sears one, I'm going to do more of these. Like I said, I kind of wanted to do them, as your anniversaries, but if it becomes just a series of itself, so people like these, and I'll just go through them in order, though. So, like the next Penny's catalog I'll do will be the 85, the next Sears one I'll do will be the 85, and like I said, I'll look for the awards catalogs, and I want to see if there's a Hudson's catalog, but I'll do them in order, but I'll probably just start doing them, at random here, not necessarily waiting for the year. Alright, so that's that. I've gone a little bit longer on this one, but I think people like these videos, so I don't mind going towards the end. Tell me your experiences with the catalogs. Tell me things that you had. Tell me things that we saw here. Tell me, hey, I had that. Hey, yeah, I had that. Did you have all the rich kid toys? Did you have the smart kid toys? Did you have any of the football stuff? Did you do the same football stuff that I did? Did you have a BMX bike? What kind of BMX bike did you have? Let me know all of your 1984 memories. Obviously, I'm speaking to a certain demographic of people, so anybody young on here probably doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about. They probably didn't click on the video if they saw, like, what? Christmas? What? Catalog? What? Who has catalogs anymore? But anyway, remember, like and subscribe. Help me get this channel going, and I'll see what's going on, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right, talk to you then.